very simply, what your thoughts were on Trump's eulogy of Charlie Kirk yesterday, and more broadly, the sort of likely political implications of Charlie's death, short term and long term.
I mean, my instant response is to say, was it a eulogy? Not many eulogies I've heard talk about the tariffs and latest health policy on autism. I mean, it was a Donald Trump political rally. I mean, it's so interesting that for the last, what is it? How many days has it been? What's the date today? It's been, 12 days since Charlie Kirk was murdered, September 10th, I think it was. In the last 12 days, people on the left, progressives, have been accused of disrespecting the dead and being completely rude about someone who was murdered and not showing respect to Charlie Kirk and offending the dead, all this stuff, insulting his widow. And yet I would argue no one has shown more contempt for Charlie Kirk in death than Donald Trump, like again and again. You remember the press conference he did on the White House lawn where he took questions and they said, how do you feel? Are you still upset about Charlie's death? This was about a couple of days after he died. And he said, yeah, I am. By the way, have you looked at our ballroom? Look at all the trucks. They're building a ballroom. I would argue that's more offensive to Charlie Kirk and his widow Erica than anything I've said or you've said. He missed the memorial at the Kennedy Center because apparently he was golfing, so he didn't turn up to that. That I would argue is more offensive than anything you've said or I've said. And then he turns up. By the way, did you see the Air Force One flight to the memorial where him and Jared and Mike Johnson are all smiling? I don't know about you. When I go to friends' memorials or funerals, I don't go taking pictures with big smiles on my face. I would argue that was a little bit offensive yesterday. And then he gets to the memorial and he turns it into a political rally, which is what it was to begin with. Charlie Kirk's parents, I didn't see speaking. Charlie Kirk's sister, I didn't see speaking. Charlie Kirk's childhood friends, I didn't see speaking, which you would see at a normal memorial. This was all J.D. Vance and Donald Trump Jr. and Stephen Miller, all making very political speeches. This was a political rally. They want us all to shut up and show respect while they politicize the hell out of it. But Trump turns up and starts talking about tariffs and starts doing his usual stump speech. Like, I would argue that is more offensive to Charlie Kirk's memory and death, whatever I think about Charlie Kirk, and I wasn't a fan of his. I don't think he leaves behind a good political legacy or record. I thought he said and did awful things when he was alive. Obviously, none of that justifies killing him, and I feel horribly for his wife. Yesterday, she gave a very emotional, very powerful speech where she said she forgives the killer, Erica Kirk. But Trump doesn't give a shit about any of that. He just starts talking about himself. He makes everything about himself, even his apparent friend's death, murder, he makes about himself. So to answer the question in a long-winded way, it wasn't a eulogy. It was a political rally. It was Donald Trump being Donald Trump.